The last thing I remember was the crash, but now I see a place called Campbell House. I woke up in a strange bed, completely confused. If I remember correctly, didn't I die in a car accident? Wait, is it possible that I have traveled through time? I looked down at my hands. They felt different, younger. I scanned the room. Palace-style decoration and heavy furniture. Definitely a Western style. I rushed to the mirror, needing to see for myself. This face, it looks almost exactly like me when I was 17 or 18. But wait, where did I travel to? What is going on? Actually, taking another look, I was really handsome when I was young. To be honest, the restoration is quite good. This should be a world like a game. Wait, is this really another world? Or just the final hallucination of a middle-aged man moments before death? I need to confirm it. Just a shallow scratch with this knife. Ah, it's too sharp. It hurts so much. It's true. I really traveled. Then the memories flooded in. Moon Campbell blasphemed the royal family, stripped of noble status and demoted to a commoner. Sentenced to exile for an unforgivable crime. Banned from the empire forever, under threat of death without mercy. A future of rotting away in filth. No way. No way. When I first heard the name, I hoped it was just a coincidence, but I can't deny it anymore. I actually transmigrated into this guy's body, the mentally retarded yellow-haired villain who isn't even an elite monster. Moon Campbell. It's the world of the strongest female main character in history, that popular light novel I read religiously before my rebirth. And Moon Campbell? He's just a brainless stepping stone. He bullies the protagonist and basically feeds experience points to the hero's party. In the end, his plots fail, he ruins his family, and dies a beggar at the border, written out of existence after just 20 chapters. I didn't ask to be a hero, but this? Destined to be a fool who just gets in the way of the protagonist? I thought I could change things, but I'm stuck in the body of an idiot born to be a stepping stone. And that is me now. What should I do? It's over. Come in, Master Moon. Oh, you're Anne? What's the matter? The dress the young master is to wear for the banquet tomorrow has been delivered. Madam asked me to bring it for you to try. Okay, I get it. Put it over there. Master? Are you injured? Yes, I just accidentally broke my skin. It's not a big deal. Do you have any medicine or a Band-Aid? Band-Aid? Anne doesn't know what the young master is talking about. If it's just to stop the bleeding, I can do it. Oh, and you can treat? The bleeding has stopped. Every drop of the young master's blood is very precious. Please don't hurt yourself easily. I felt my face heat up. Okay, I will remember that. If you don't need anything else, I'll go out to work first. Yes, thank you. You've worked hard. Oh my God, this is too foul. The gentle black-haired maid, she's so cute. Young master, did he just say thank you to me? But he's a good-looking duke's son, with high status, good looks, plenty of money, and a maid serving him. Why does he have to provoke the protagonist? If I remember correctly, the real trigger for his exile was drugging the third princess at his coming-of-age ceremony. Easy to solve. Just don't provoke her and don't do anything stupid. I, Moon, still have a chance to change my fate. I just need to keep my head down to stay rich. Now, I have to think carefully. When is the coming-of-age ceremony? Wait, Anne just sent a dress for the coming-of-age ceremony? Tomorrow? System? Are you there? Grandpa? Goddess? Monk? Anyone? Can anyone pay attention to me? Do I really not have any cheats? Isn't it just that I drew 5 gold cards in 10 draws in my last life? You wouldn't treat me like this, right? It's too late. I don't know if apologizing tomorrow will even work. I don't think she would make any excessive demands, like asking me to lick her feet in public before she forgives me. Moon, you can do it. A real man knows when to bend. The insult of licking feet is nothing compared to broken hands and becoming a beggar. It's decided then. When we meet tomorrow, I'll rush up to her, kneel at the speed of light, and kowtow 3 times. Let me bear this humiliation alone. Of course, it would be better if she could wear black stockings tomorrow. Duh! Ouch! What the hell is that? It hurts so much. It felt like it smashed right through my skull. What is going on? Wait, could this be? The plug-in has arrived. Yes, I knew it. The heavens wouldn't just let me die like this. God still hasn't given up on me. Although I'm a loser destined to be cannon fodder, it's different if I have a cheat. From now on, I will change the original ending and change my fate. As the saying goes, my fate is in my own hands. Huh? No? What's going on? A wordless book? Is there any special way to activate it? Hello?
I was just trying to analyze the setting of this Western European world, wondering how I fit in. Huh? Suddenly, I felt something warm trickling down. Before I could wipe it away, a heavy drop of blood fell straight onto the open pages. The moment it touched the paper, a dark aura flared up. The book started trembling violently, rejecting the silence of the room. The air pressure dropped instantly. My blood. It's reacting to my blood? A chaotic wind erupted from the grimoire, blowing everything back. Holy shit! What on earth is going on? And then, darkness took over. My consciousness flickered back, returning through a haze of static and pain. Cold metal bit hard into my wrists. My ankles were bound just as tight against the rough floor. My body felt heavy, covered in bruises. I was strung up like an animal, completely helpless. I forced my heavy eyelids to open. My head is pounding. What is this place? Suddenly, a chilling face loomed over me. You finally woke up. I've been waiting for you for a long time. Wait, it's you! Her voice dripped with a twisted sense of purpose. Pain is inevitable. It's all to teach you a lesson. She dragged a finger across my chest, pressing into the fresh wounds. You are evil, cruel, and selfish. The stinging pain forced a cry from my throat. That hurts. She sighed, almost sounding disappointed. Only in this way can you belong to me, only to me. But you have changed your heart. It won't work. Her logic was pure madness. You should bring pain to others instead of tolerance. You should make everyone hate you. A dark smile spread across her face. But don't worry, no matter how long it takes, I will cleanse you thoroughly with my love, over and over again. Blades of shadow manifested in the air. Her eyes burned with a possessive fire. We will be together forever. Not even death can separate us. No, no! My heart feels like it's going to explode. That was just a dream? No, the pain on my skin still lingered. That nightmare seemed far too real. Could this be some kind of precognitive dream? I looked down at the book in my hands. Before I passed out, I remember this strange book flipped pages like crazy and drew a lot of blood from me. If that vision was brought about by this cheat book, then was that drastic ending caused by something I did wrong? Wait, look at this. The dark energy twisted into words. Do not change for fate? A sudden jolt of information rushed straight into my mind. Do not change. Is this a warning? Does it mean if I try to change the original plot, that torture is the ending waiting for me? But why? Wouldn't following the original story be a tragic outcome anyway? I let out a long sigh, watching the sunrise. So my hopes of changing things were just wishful thinking. To survive, do I really have to walk straight into my own destruction? Wait a minute. Actually, if I look at it from another angle, the original ending isn't that bad, right? At least I'm still alive in the end. That useless rich kid in the story only became a beggar because he had no skills. He was exiled and helpless, but I am different. I am a super working warrior who has experienced thousands of trials and tribulations in modern society. There is nothing to be nostalgic about this so-called aristocrat status. It is nothing more than a privileged class obtained by exploiting the working people. As a genuine socialist proletarian fighter, I can still make a good living in this other world with my hands and knowledge. Munch, munch. Damn it, I've never had such delicious steak and wine in my previous life. This evil, privileged class is really living the good life. It smells so good. Suddenly, a voice chimed in. What happened? Little Moon seems very happy today. Ha! He must be looking forward to tomorrow's coming-of-age banquet. After all, it is one of the most important banquets in Moon's life. It was the Duchess Noyce Campbell. The original plot doesn't specify my fate after exile. I'll just use my modern wisdom to start fresh in another country. I played the part of the good son. Yes, father and mother, I am looking forward to it. They looked at me with such warmth. My little Moon, I really don't want to let him go. I wonder how many noble girls will be charmed by him tomorrow. Impossible! Our Moon already has a fiancé. Princess Celia might get jealous. Mom immediately pouted. I don't like that Princess Celia. She is so cold and not cute at all. She isn't worthy of our Moon. You can't say that. If he isn't worthy of Princess Celia, then no one is. I broke out in cold sweat. My dear parents, where does this blind confidence come from? And wait, who is Princess Celia? Oh, right, the third princess of the empire, the pure white child, blessed by God. In the original world, she was a massive fan favorite, a cool beauty with a warm heart, the center of attention wherever she went. She is absolute perfection. Don't you know what kind of rotten fish your son actually is? You two are the only ones in this world who treat this rotten fish as a treasure. In the original novel, you both were good people, but because of your son's stupidity, you were implicated. The entire Campbell family was forced out of the Empire's upper class and disappeared. The book warns against changing fate, but accepting a future where I'm exiled and left disabled. No, I cannot accept that. I have to do something, even if I can't avoid the exile itself. I need to see the bigger picture. The attack on the princess wasn't the real reason for the punishment. It was a political purge. My father was implicated in treason to strip him of his military power. So here is the plan. I will accept the exile to keep the timeline stable, but I must ensure the Campbell family is completely disconnected from my actions. I need to take every ounce of blame myself.
There is only 1 day left before the ceremony. It is too late to make complex arrangements. The most urgent task is to solve the outcome of offending the royal family, specifically Princess Celicia, the future queen. Ordinary drugs wouldn't work on a magic genius like her, and I have no memory of acquiring such things. So where did the poison come from? I have to find a reason to sneak out later. I need to check if the hideout of evil forces written in the novel actually exists. I can't just divert the blame with my mouth. Thud. A maid fell to the floor, tea spilling everywhere. Ugh, it hurts. Master and Madam's black tea. I offered a hand, genuinely feeling bad. Sorry, I was just thinking about something and I didn't pay attention to where I was going. Are you okay? She looked up, her face draining of color. You are young Master Moon? Panic took her completely. Young Master, I'm sorry. I'll clean it from you right now. She could practically hear her thoughts screaming. Finished! She cowered in fear, trembling. Young Master, I'm sorry. I really didn't mean it. Please don't hit me or strip me naked and throw me on the street.
The girl was trembling on the floor, tears streaming down her face as she begged for her life. She looked absolutely terrified. I sighed internally. It was just a spill of tea. How bad was the impression the original owner left for a simple mistake to cause this much panic? I looked down at her gently. Okay. It's just a small problem. I won't punish you. Get up. As I reached out, I noticed something wrong. Are you okay? You feel so hot. I instinctively placed my hand on her forehead, a modern habit. Sure enough, I was wondering why it was so hot. Don't you even know you have a fever? She looked stunned. I continued. Your forehead is so hot you can boil an egg on it. Why don't you take a rest? Young Master, she stammered, because tomorrow is your coming-of-age ceremony banquet, and we are short-staffed at home right now. You can't work when you're sick. Just then, another maid appeared. Young Master Moon? It's Anne. You came at the right time. Make arrangements for her. Before she was led away, I asked, By the way, what's your name? She looked at me with flushed cheeks. My name is Noelle, young master. I gave the order clearly. Arrange for Noelle to have a rest. Anne hesitated, worried about logistics. But, young master, tomorrow night is your coming-of-age ceremony. If Noelle takes a rest, the work of other maids will become much heavier. Then we can recruit people from outside. It is impossible that our huge Duke's mansion can't afford to hire a few people, right? Tell the head maid to fill vacancies from outside. I turned away, thinking to myself, I don't want a bunch of sick, mentally disturbed patients serving guests at my ceremony tomorrow. Anne bowed immediately. Got it. I'll pass this order on to the head maid. As I walked away down the hall, I left a trail of confusion behind me. Noelle whispered to her senior, confused by my change in character. Sister Anne, didn't the young master say he didn't want dirty outsiders in the mansion? Today's young master... Anne cut her off gently. Don't think too much. Just follow the young master's orders and go to rest. Yes. But as I disappeared from view, Anne's eyes lingered on me, filled with suspicion. Behind my back, Anne was already analyzing the situation. She sensed the subtle changes in me and decided she needed to plan ahead to avoid any uncontrollable situations. But I had bigger problems. Back in my room, I was tearing everything apart, tossing jewelry aside. This isn't it. This isn't it either. I practically dove into the chest. I clearly remembered it was here somewhere. I was looking for the only thing that could handle a super magic genius like the princess, a special psychedelic potion. It's contraband, extremely expensive, and very hard to find, but necessary. Ah, found it. I couldn't help but grin. The original owner really was a scumbag to have this. I remember this item was supposed to be difficult to obtain in the novel.
An underground black market VIP voucher. This little card was my ticket. I didn't waste a second. I organized the carriage and headed out into the night, crossing the bridge away from the estate. We stopped outside the Chesford Chamber of Commerce. I gave my guards a flimsy excuse to keep them outside. "You guys wait here. I'm going to buy some jewelry for my father and mother to wear tomorrow." The guards bought it easily. "Okay, young master." I turned the corner, making sure I was out of their line of sight. I slipped into the shadows of a nearby alley, moving quickly before anyone could notice. I pulled out the cloak and mask I had prepared. Time to change identities. According to the route I remembered from the novel, the entrance is deep in the sewers of Belran City, just outside the royal city. The air was damp and heavy, but I pressed on, torch in hand, deeper into the dark tunnels. Finally, I spotted a heavy wooden door ahead. That should be it. A guard emerged from the gloom. "Stop. Who is coming?" I answered with the code word, "Sewer rats." He didn't step aside yet. "Why are you here for?" "Looking for carrion. This is my credential." I flashed the VIP card. His attitude changed immediately as he opened the door. "Dear guest, please come in." The door opened to reveal a massive underground city bustling with noise and activity. This was the Leopold Underground Black Market. It was overwhelming. Jars of rare potion ingredients lined the shelves, and terrifying magical synthetic beasts glared from cages. It's worthy of a magical fantasy world. If I remember correctly, they even sell subhuman slaves here. One of the protagonist's future teammates was supposedly bought from this very place. I shook my head. Well, these are secondary. It's more important to do the real work first. I found the specific shop I needed and pushed the door open. The bell chimed softly. A figure in a red hooded robe jumped up to greet me. "Wow, we finally have a guest today. Please come in." The shopkeeper leaned over the counter. "What would you like to see? Although our shop is small, we have everything." I didn't waste time looking around. I want that potion." "That?" "It is colorless and odorless, specifically targeted magicians, and will make you unconscious for several hours after taking it." She giggled, clearly misunderstanding my request. "Oh, that, I understand. You rich people like to play like this, right?" "I happen to know a few good slave shops. Can I recommend them to you? You just need to pay some recommendation fees. You can get a discount if you mention my name." I wasn't here for games. I turned around instantly. "Nope, not needed. I'm leaving." She panicked, flailing her arms. I have, of course. Young master, please stay. But this treasure is rare. I have to look for it. Please wait for me for a moment." While she rummaged through the shelves, I observed her. She wore a full covering mask, and her voice was magically processed. It was impossible to tell whether she was a man or a woman. But looking at her tone, demeanor, and that figure, she was definitely hiding something. She is most likely a beauty, but more importantly, her methods must be powerful to maintain a foothold in a place where gangs prey on each other. If I can establish a good relationship with her, she might be able to help me when I am exiled by the Empire in the future. She scratched her head, confused. "Huh? I remember that 2 bottles I made the day before were placed in this box. Where did they go?" She called out from the back. "Just a little longer, young master." I leaned back. "It's okay. As long as you have it, there's no rush." Suddenly, the bell chimed again. I glanced over. "Huh?" The shopkeeper popped her head up. "Welcome, guest." A cloaked figure stepped in and spoke immediately. "I want to buy a special kind of drug that is very strong but won't leave any magical traces afterwards. Is there any?" The shopkeeper seemed taken aback. This? Yes. Please wait a moment." She looked completely bewildered, likely thinking it was strange that 2 people came looking for such shady potions on the same day. I observed the new arrival closely. This figure and the faint fragrance emanating from the body, I raised an eyebrow behind my mask. Do women also have this kind of needs?
I knew that buying this kind of medicine would likely end up harming someone, but unfortunately, I had no way to stop it. To the poor guy who's about to be drugged, you are on your own. Finally, I found it. But wait, isn't this color a little too eye-catching? It looks suspicious. The merchant was quick to dismiss my worry. Customers don't need to worry. Although bright, it is completely undetectable if placed in drinks such as red wine. I looked at the small bottle, skeptical. Is it true that a single drop can charm an elephant? Compared to the color flaw, its advantages are much greater. A tiny drop will make even an elephant faint instantly for 2 or 3 hours. You get what you pay for. If you don't believe me, try it. But if you fall asleep, I will charge a 5,000 emil nursing fee. I waved my hand. That won't be necessary. Would you like to pay by card or cash? I don't have enough emil, and honestly, I don't intend to pay the bill with money. Instead, I can sell you intelligence in exchange for the potion. Oh, my dear, I have to remind you that 130,000 is not a small amount. I stood my ground. This information is definitely worth that much. To the right people, it may be worth far more. I held up a sealed envelope. The merchant took it eagerly. All right, let me see what kind of information it is. That's interesting. Are you sure this information is true? Whether it is true or not, I would like to find out with your ability as the store owner. The merchant chuckled. Oh, this guest really trusts me. But you are right. This information is indeed worth the price. Deal accepted. Here is the potion. The woman finished her business and left abruptly. Thanks. Take care. I won't see you off. I watched her silhouette disappear into the night. The merchant turned her gaze to me. What about you, young master? I didn't waste time and handed over my payment. Swipe my card. Okay, young master, please keep the crystal card. Also, this bottle is a small gift for you. I looked at the purple vial next to the red one. A small gift? What is this bottle for? She winked playfully. That's the one I use, you know. It will be a better experience when paired with the red bottle. I accepted the items, but my mind was on something else. Thank you, manager. By the way, that information that woman just mentioned. Oh my, young master, are you also interested? Considering we're old acquaintances. She leaned in, calculating the profit. I'll sell it to you at this price, 90,000? She smiled wider as she corrected me. 900,000. I stood up immediately. That was robbery. No thank you. Damn, she made nearly 7 times the profit just by changing hands right in front of me. This is too shady. Goodbye, young master. Please come next time. I walked away without looking back. No, this black market is full of profit-seeking vultures. I still have to find a partner who is more upright. I watched him leave, then finally relaxed. Oh my, I thought tomorrow was just the coming-of-age ceremony for that good-for-nothing young master of the Campbell family. I didn't expect the 3rd princess would also be there. And at this critical juncture, the Duke's Mountain has to recruit outsiders because of a shortage of manpower. The prince seemed to always dislike his outstanding sister, and Duke Raymond has always been at odds with Grand Duke Campbell. Such an interesting thing. Why not sell the information to both sides? Killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I really am a bad guy. The next night, the Campbell's palace was brightly lit, but for me, the air felt heavy.
I stood amidst the crowd, feeling small as my father, the Grand Duke, guided me forward. "Your Excellency, the Duke, this is my third daughter. Come and say hello to him." My hands were trembling. I didn't know how to react. Panic rose in my chest. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't stay here. I blurted out the first excuse I could think of. "Mother is calling me. Sorry to leave now." As she fled, her father nervously apologized on her behalf. "Sorry, little Moon. My daughter is a bit shy, so I apologize to you on her behalf." I put on my best smile, trying to act magnanimous. It's okay. I don't take it to heart. Please, take your seat." But internally, I sighed. As expected. It wasn't just the daughter of Marquis Hill. Everyone's eyes looked pretty much the same. Alas. After all, the original young master's reputation is really too bad. I have a lot of work to do. Suddenly, a heavy hand landed on my head. "I am very satisfied with your performance today." I looked up surprised. "Father? I was a little worried before, but now it seems that it was unnecessary, as you are the protagonist of today's coming-of-age ceremony." He looked at me with pride. "You will no longer be a boy after tonight, but a real man of my Campbell family. Do your best." I smiled with determination, meeting his gaze. "I will try my best." Suddenly, a loud voice commanded the room, silencing the chatter. "Everyone, please be quiet." The heavy doors opened and the announcement continued. "Let us welcome the third in line to the Leopold Empire. The pure white girl blessed by the goddess of ice and snow. The third princess of the empire, Her Highness Cilicia." She walked in, radiating a cold, ethereal beauty that instantly captivated everyone in the hall. Father tapped my shoulder, bringing me back to reality. "I leave this place to you. Remember not to neglect Her Royal Highness the Princess." "Okay, Father."
A familiar, flamboyant figure approached me amidst the falling petals. "Princess?" I greeted him with formal courtesy. "Long time no see, Master Moon." He smiled, his charm always on full display. "You were so charming today." I kept my expression unreadable. "Really, thank you for the compliment. However, it is rare to hear such words of praise from young Master Moon." My posture remained flawless, demanding respect. He laughed it off, seemingly unbothered. "Your Highness, what you said makes me sound like the kind of rude person who can't even control his mouth." The air between us grew slightly heavier. I tilted my head, my gaze turning icy. "Isn't it?" Sensing the chill, he quickly changed the subject. "Your Highness must be tired after coming from the royal city. It is better to go in and have a rest first." I accepted his advice with a brief nod. Thank you for that." I turned my back on him, sensing his immense relief as I walked away. Walking through the hall, I couldn't help but wonder. Moon feels a little different tonight than before. Is it because he's become more polite, or is it something else? My thoughts were interrupted by the hushed whispers of the crowd. "That illegitimate daughter is here too. The woman who had a duel with her fiancé not long ago?" I paused, my interest piqued. The gossip spread like wildfire. I heard that the Count Bogard had just handed over the position of heir to her. Alas, not only is she an illegitimate child, but she is also a woman. How can she be qualified? The confusion in the air was palpable. "Hush, the Count is here too." Suddenly, the doors opened. There she was, the so-called protagonist of this world. Even Moon's playful demeanor vanished as he watched them enter. Ariel Bogard, the name on everyone's lips. She approached with a mix of hesitation and resolve. Ignoring the whispers, she addressed him directly. "Hello, young Master Moon. We meet again. How have you been recently?" Moon looked terrified. I'm fine." Suddenly, a sycophantic noble jumped in, thinking he was defending Moon's honor. "You lowly bastard! How can you talk to our young Master Moon?" Moon's eyes widened in pure panic. He didn't wait for him to finish. "Shut up!" Desperately muffling his mouth, Moon forced a smile. "I'm certainly doing fine lately, Miss Ariel Bogard." He sweated bullets as he maintained his polite facade. "Thank you for your concern." Ariel stared at him, completely baffled, and frankly, so was I. I couldn't believe my ears. He actually thanked me? Huh? You? What is going on? This guy didn't even insult me like he usually does. His brain is the size of a single cell, yet he remembers my name? Is this some kind of conspiracy? I snapped. I grabbed him by the collar, shaking him violently. "What are you up to?" I got right in his face, glaring. "Moon Campbell?" He looked panicked. "Miss Ariel?" He stammered, raising his hands in surrender. "Listen to me." Then he suddenly shifted his gaze to the timid girl beside me. "Ariel, this must be Miss Leah, right?" He spoke her name with surprising clarity. "Miss Leah Angel." Leah froze, her eyes widening in shock. Young Master Moon actually knows my name?" He put on that fake charming smile again, though he was sweating buckets. "Of course, how could I not know the name of tonight's important guest?" I wasn't buying it. I pulled him closer, my voice low and dangerous. "The reason I'm here is purely for your father's sake. I don't care what conspiracy you have, just come at me." I leaned in, delivering my final warning. "If you dare to have any evil thoughts towards Leah, I will never let you go. Leah, let's go." I watched them storm off, left with nothing but a helpless sigh. Alas, it seems that she has a deep stereotype of the original owner, and it is difficult to change it in a short time. But never mind. After tonight, our destinies will be two completely parallel lines that never intersect. From now on, you will be your savior, and I will be my worker, and we both will have a bright future, Miss Female Main Character. Just like that, under the auspices of my cheap parents, I stood before the Empire's elite. I, Moon Campbell, completed my coming-of-age speech at the age of 18 in the presence of all the nobles of the Empire. From today on, I am the official heir of the Campbell family. But unfortunately, if everything goes according to the original plot, then the identity of the heir will only be limited to tonight. Phew, it's finally over. I exhaled, letting the tension leave my shoulders. Next, it's time to get down to business. I fixed my cuffs, focusing on my target. Found her, standing alone, like a solitary moon in the night sky. I approached with my most practiced smile. I actually left the noble princess alone. It seems that I, as the host, was very rude. "Princess Cilicia." She turned, her expression unreadable. "Moon Campbell?" I extended my hand, bowing slightly. "I wonder if I would have the honor to ask you to dance with me." A flicker of surprise crossed her face. "Are you inviting me?" "Of course, my beautiful highness." She sighed, seemingly relenting to the occasion. "You forget. Tonight is your coming-of-age ceremony, so I have no reason to refuse." I took her hand gently. "Thank you, your highness." But she muttered something strange. "Huh? That's not it." The crowd whispered, stunned that the Ice Princess actually accepted. Even the protagonist's party noticed. "Sister Ariel, look." Leah pointed us out, grabbing Ariel's attention. We stepped onto the floor, moving in sync with the rhythm. I decided to break the silence with a compliment. "You have good dancing steps." She remained modest, though her voice was cool. "Thank you for the compliment, but it is still at the beginner level." Then her gaze pierced right through me. "You have indeed changed, Moon Campbell." I panicked internally. Did I slip up? In which respect? Am I not behaving like a noble? She shook her head. No, it's the way you invite people. I blinked, completely lost. Invite way? Huh?
Cilicia smiled mischievously, suddenly bringing up my dark history with a perfect impersonation. Woman, be glad and cheer, for this young master has shown mercy and granted you the right to dance with me. I froze, watching her amused expression. Cold sweat trickled down my face. I stuttered, unable to deny it. No, wait, She tilted her head, enjoying my suffering. How is it? Did I imitate it well? I forced an awkward smile, desperate to bury that embarrassing memory. I was wrong, Your Highness Cilicia. Could you please forget what happened back then? The violin swelled around us, filling the hall with music. I spun her around, seizing the moment to change the subject to something crucial. After this dance, could you please come to my room? She hesitated, her steps faltering slightly as she reminded me of propriety. Moon Campbell, you and I are engaged, but I understand, Your Highness. I have no intention of overstepping my bounds. I looked deep into her eyes, my voice dropping to a whisper. It is precisely the engagement that I would like to discuss with Your Highness in detail. She paused, intrigued. Oh. She looked at me, trying to gauge my true intentions amidst the swirling dancers. A private conversation with me about our engagement? I decided to be brutally honest to win her trust. I know that Your Royal Highness does not like me, and that this is merely a political marriage arranged to maintain the relationship with my father. I lowered my voice, explaining the delicate balance of power. This is the will of His Majesty the King. If Your Highness were to propose canceling the engagement, it will inevitably affect the royal family's credibility and your relationship with your father. Am I right? I leaned in, offering a solution that benefited us both. So, at least regarding calling off the engagement, we're on the same page. If we work together, maybe we can find a decent way to do it. She closed her eyes for a moment, then nodded in agreement. I understand. This is something that can only be discussed between you and me alone. Internally, I let out a sigh of relief. Success. She took the bait. Sorry, Her Highness. In order to keep the story going smoothly, I can only... A confident smirk crept onto my face. I suddenly dropped the formalities. Where is your room? Huh? I grabbed her hand and started dragging her away, ignoring the stunned onlookers. There's no need to wait for the dance to end. Let's go now. I didn't give her time to think, pulling her along before the crowd could react. We left the ballroom, but I could feel the prying eyes of the servants following our every move. As we passed, the maids didn't bother hiding their disdain. She left with that mentally retarded young master? Little did I know, they were already conspiring. Let's take action. We have to act quickly, after all. This is the territory of the Lionheart King. Safe in my room, I immediately went for the bottle I had prepared, but before I could pour, sorry, I don't drink. I tried to persuade her, needing her to take a sip. It's just red wine, a little bit should be fine. She looked away, completely shutting me down. I can't drink alcohol, not even a drop. I forced a smile, while internally I was screaming. The original story didn't mention this hurdle. Well, okay then. No, buddy, the novel doesn't describe how he charmed the princess. I stared at the bottle in panic. My plan relied on this specific delivery method. The medicine is so red, how can I give it to her if she doesn't drink? I had to think fast. The potion was red. I needed a dark liquid to hide it. If Your Highness doesn't drink, what would you like to drink? She started to ask for coffee, but I panicked and cut her off. Coffee? Only black tea. Huh?
I spewed some nonsense excuse to force her hand. Due to some force majeure, no other drinks are available here tonight except red wine and black tea, so she resigned herself to my limited menu. Only black tea? Then let's have black tea. Okay, I'll go get it now. I practically danced over to the preparation table, barely containing my excitement over brewing leaves. This guy is making tea such a joyful thing? I turned my back to her, shielding my hands as I prepared the cups. I pulled out the vial. A single drop could charm an elephant, but she was a high-tier magician. It wouldn't be excessive to add a few more drops when facing a powerful magician like Celicia. Better safe than sorry, I poured a generous amount into her cup, ignoring any safety warnings. I decided not to hold back, just to be safe. Not done yet? My heart nearly jumped out of my chest when she peeked around the pillar. I quickly hid the bottles behind my back, putting on my best innocent smile. Soon, very soon. My hands were shaking, clutching the vials. I needed her to look away. Your Highness, please take a seat. Huh? The moment she turned, I uncorked the red vial labeled aphrodisiac and dumped it in. I glanced back nervously, praying she hadn't seen the splash. Once done, I slumped against the counter, relief washing over me. Phew, I was so scared. Fortunately, I was smart enough to put drugs in both cups, otherwise I would have almost failed. It is indeed a secret medicine that can knock out an elephant with just one drop. I rubbed my chin, puzzled by the deviation from the novel. But come to think of it, the original text didn't mention she couldn't drink alcohol. I guess this is an accidental sequel. No, now is not the time to talk about this. According to the original plot, the female main character will come to kill us shortly after we are knocked unconscious. We had to look the part. I reached for her dress. To sell the illusion of a scandalous night, disarray was key. Pull the stockings down a little bit and loosen the clothes a little bit. I paused, my conscience and common sense kicking in. It doesn't seem to work. If I untie the bottom, her belly will be exposed and she'll catch a cold. It's better to just mess up her hair a little.
Oh, right. And about my role in this scene. Seriously? Why are these damn clothes so hard to take off? Finally, I managed to get it off. Mission accomplished. Now all that's left is to simply wait for the main character to show up. The stage is perfectly set. However, what is going on? Half an hour has already passed. According to the original plot, shouldn't Ariel be rushing in right now to save the beauty and control me? What is happening? Where is she? Wait a minute. How did this original plot point come about in the first place? If I remember correctly, it seemed that Ariel's clothes were accidentally stained by a seriously ill maid in the Duke's mansion. Then she was supposed to head to the bathroom to find something to clean up the mess. And that is where the coincidence happens. She just happened to notice something strange and caught me right when I was about to unleash my bestiality on the princess. Bah, stupid original owner. But wait, a seriously ill maid? Could it be? No. This doesn't mean the original storyline is completely changing. That's a big problem. Okay, calm down. Even though the plot twisted in an unexpected way, the most important part is still intact. The princess is charmed. There must be a way to salvage this situation. Wait, what is going on? Why does it seem to get cold all of a sudden? It shouldn't be this freezing in the middle of summer. Ugh! What the? She's attacking me?
Your Highness, please, listen to my explanation. Things are not what you think. Damn it, she's strong. She is overpowering me. I can't shake her off. It's so hot. The body wants... This is bad. No, this state is wrong. Your Highness, please hold on. I'll go call a doctor right away. Your body is so cool. I like it. Your Highness, wake up. Your Highness, Ariel-sama, the protagonist, please save me. If this continues, the fake play will become real. Ugh, ugh. Meanwhile, back at the Duke's palace, really, Leah, that little fool, how could she be so careless? She got cake all over my clothes. Who? Who is there? Excuse me, miss. The area ahead is a restricted area of the Duke's mansion. Please turn around and go back. Restricted area? What restricted area? Sorry, this is a secret of the Duke's mansion, and I cannot tell you. Stingy. Miss, your clothes seem to be dirty. Yes, I heard you were looking for a toilet to clean yourself with water. Let me take care of this little thing for you. Clean. Whoa, as expected of Grand Duke Campbell. Even the maids in his mansion can use magic? I only know a little bit, not worth mentioning. The cleaning is complete, miss. But let me remind you, a limited amount of pachichi cake will be served at the banquet later. If you like it, please don't miss it. Pachichi cake? Thank you for your help, Miss Maid. I have to go grab the cake right now. You're welcome. Take care. That maid was a little strange. She actually smelled of blood, and the other person hiding nearby was also a bit worrying. But what does this have to do with me? Anyway, she was doing it in the Duke's mansion, so it definitely won't involve me. As for Her Highness Cilicia, alas, she is already a grown-up and the leading magic genius of the younger generation. How could she possibly be eaten by that stupid playboy? Now, nothing is more important than my pachichi cake. I'm here, my dear pachichi. The girl is gone. The girl is gone. Is she also your mission target? No. Good. She was originally the target of number 9. Number 9 was my former partner, so I know some information about her. I remember that mission failed. It seemed that number 9 fell into the hands of that girl. He was 2 realms higher than her, yet she still managed to kill him. So it turned out to be her. By the way, how long will this take? We don't have much time left. It's almost there, but this barrier was set up by the Lionheart King, Ron Campbell. It is not easy to open a gap quietly without alerting him. We have to hurry. If Moon Campbell or Princess Cilicia suddenly shows up, our mission will be a failure. I know, but I think there is still time. Judging from the sounds coming from those 2 we saw at the outer wall, it looks like he's busy doing that. Finally, it's over. I dodged with all my might and managed to keep my identity as a great magician for 30 years. Otherwise, if I had taken the last step and done that to the princess, I would probably not just be exiled, but really finished.
Her eyes were as cold as the frost magic swirling around her. There was no mercy left in her gaze. Speak your final words, Moon Campbell. This is your last chance before you die. The tip of her ice blade inched closer to my throat. Well, if you don't tell me, I won't. She raised her sword to strike. Since there are no last words, panic exploded in my chest. I threw my hands up instinctively. Wait a minute. Yes, let me think about it. My mind was racing. It's over. If I fail to calm her down right now, I'm dead, and I seriously doubt I'll get a second chance to be reborn again. But looking at her face, normal excuses don't seem to make any difference.
I felt a cold sweat rolling down my cheek. I need to commit. I sat up straight, trying to look dignified. Now that things have come to this, I can only take a gamble using the cheesy wisdom of modern people. I looked her deep in the eyes. There was once a true love in front of me, but I didn't cherish it. I didn't regret it until I lost it. I poured every ounce of emotion I had into the final line. If God could give me another chance. A flash of blue light cut through the air, interrupting me instantly. A sharp sting burned across my chest. The blade actually made contact. I screamed internally. She really tried to kill me. Fuck! So that's why you're so disgusting. Her expression wasn't moved at all. It was pure revulsion. You call such dirty and vulgar means sincerity? Are you kidding me, Moon Campbell? If you really like me, you should stand in front of me openly and impress me. With your character, your strength, and your sincerity like a real man. If you do that and I still fall in love with you, maybe I will... She finally lowered her sword, though the frost still crackled around her legs. She seemed to be muttering to herself, rationalizing her decision to spare me. Disgusting? Well, in a sense, this is a very sincere emotion of mine, and we haven't actually made it past that point, so today's matter... I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. The gamble somehow worked. I'm alive. Ha! Ha! Her voice trembled slightly, not with rage, but with disappointment. Eventually abide by the marriage agreement and become your wife. Tears welled up in the corners of her eyes. But you chose to drug me. The most despicable and shameless method. Guilt hit me harder than her ice magic. I scrambled to explain. I'm sorry, Celicia. I tried to tell you the truth. I had no choice but to do this. I never thought of offending you. She cut me off, her ice blade flaring up again. Shut up. Get down on your knees. I froze instantly, swallowing my words under her cold stare. Suddenly, a pile of cloth hit my face. I'll spare your life for now. Put on your clothes and open the door. Ask the people outside to leave. Right, the door. This room's soundproof. Except for knocking, no sound gets in or out. That explains why no one came to save me earlier. I scrambled to get dressed, my legs shaking like jelly. Okay. I managed to look somewhat presentable, but my mind was spiraling. This is a disaster. Even if I survived her sword right now, there are only bad options left for me. 1, get hanged publicly by the furious king. 2, get sliced into pieces in a dungeon by some assassin. Either way, it's a dead end. I'm screwed no matter what. I reached for the handle, dread washing over me. Oh, great main character, are you coming to kill me too? The drama is settled. What's the point of you showing up now? I pulled the door open, bracing for impact. But instead of an executioner, it was a maid? Young Master Moon? Madam saw that you had been chatting with Her Highness the Princess for a long time and thought that you must be a little hungry, so she asked me to bring some cakes over. I stepped aside, still shaken from the encounter with Celicia. Just put it on the table over there. Yes. She placed the tray down gently. The smell of tea was calming, but something felt off. Oh, thank you for your hard work. I looked at her face again. I know most of the staff here. Wait, why don't I seem to have met you before? I was just selected into the Duke's mansion last night, so it's normal that young Master Moon doesn't know me. Selected last night? But Anne specifically mentioned the uniform shortage. Oh, you are here to help at the banquet, right? But I remember Anne said that since there were no extra maid uniforms, they only hired ordinary servants. Yeah. The warmth in her eyes vanished instantly, replaced by a cold green glow. Yes. A massive burst of killing intent exploded from her. I threw myself back just as a dark shadow lunged forward. My heart hammered against my ribs. That wasn't a maid. Assassin! But the shadow didn't chase me. It flew past me, straight towards the door I just closed. Wait! If it's not directed at me, then it must be for... Cilicia! Cilicia noticed the threat instantly. Her eyes widened, but she didn't panic. The maid launched herself into the air, daggers drawn, wrapped in dark, suffocating energy. Clang! Ice met darkness. The collision sent a shockwave ripping through the room. The blast blew me off my feet. I hit the floor hard. Ugh! I struggled to look up through the debris, my chest tightening. Cilicia! She was holding her ground perfectly. Her ice blade parried every strike from the assassin's daggers with terrifying precision. She looked the assassin dead in the eye, cold and calculating. "Did my stupid brother send you?" The assassin just smirked, her eyes glowing with confidence. "Sorry, the employer's information is top secret, and there is no need for you to know, Her Highness. You will definitely die here today." She lunged forward for the kill. "This is your end." But before she could land the hit, ding! The entire room erupted in blinding golden light. Massive magic circles materialized on every surface. Time seemed to slow down. I could already see the headlines of tomorrow's paper flashing in my mind. The third princess of the empire was assassinated in Great Duke Campbell's palace. If that happens, my family is finished. But then, boom! The mansion's defense system roared to life. The golden energy slammed into the assassin, blasting her away like a rag doll. She survived? She used the shockwave to create distance, landing gracefully on a beam. Her grip tightened on her daggers. She wasn't fleeing. She was still looking for a way to kill us. But the air suddenly grew heavy. The density of mana was suffocating. Even the instructors at the academy couldn't channel this much mana so quickly. Ice condenses into frost. The frost becomes a lance, granting supreme power. For the first time, the assassin's composure cracked. She knew she was in trouble. Cilicia didn't hesitate. She unleashed the spell, turning into a blur of blue light. Ha! She lunged, her ice lance tearing through the air faster than the eye could follow. The assassin tried to block, but it was useless. The impact sent her smashing into the ground with bone-crushing force.
The air itself was trembling. She looked so calm, while I was staring death in the face. Damn it. The gods are fighting, and it's the mortals who suffer. I can't stay here, or I won't even know what killed me. I have to move, now. Meanwhile, inside, I desperately twisted the door handle, but it wouldn't turn. Panic surged through my veins. No. It's blocked? Why is it locked now? Ice shards exploded behind me as the maid dodged away. That traitor. The door was manipulated. It must have been done by her. I'm trapped like a rat. But this doesn't make sense. There was no assassination attempt in the original book. How could the Duke's mansion be breached? Wait, could it be my order? I told the head maid to replace the sick servants with outsiders. I simply didn't want anyone sick at my coming-of-age ceremony. Is this because of me? How is that possible? I only made that decision last night. Unless someone has been watching the mansion 24/7. Damn it. For now, I can only pray Cilicia wins. My small body is useless in a battle like this. But the assassin is clearly targeting only Cilicia. The plot is changing. The story has completely changed. I have no idea what the future holds anymore. But even if Cilicia wins, is that really a good ending? She stands there, cold and terrifying. If she had died, nobody would know. But now, what happens to the secret? I remembered Eris's words. They would just cover it up somehow, wouldn't they? As expected, you really are the super genius chosen by God, Princess Cilicia. Fast footwork, light arrow magic, and gravity magic making my body heavy. But those last spells had no magical fluctuations. Mechanical tricks from the room next door, I assume? You saw through our magic at a glance, just like the rumors say. Actually, no, you're worse than the rumors. You're a monster. Tell me who is behind this, and I will spare your life.
Her blade remained steady, demanding an answer. Really? Actually, as an assassin, I shouldn't be wasting my breath on nonsense with you, but sometimes even assassins need a little time, don't they? Don't you think? Suddenly, a blinding light erupted from the floor. This room has been completely sealed. Hurry, I can't hold on much longer. She was struggling. The magical pressure was immense. A massive magic circle expanded beneath them. It was a trap laid in advance. Understood. She reached under her apron. With the blood of 100, the hearts of young children, I offer a sacrifice to the God of the melting world, the Lord of the red sun, and the great King of ruin. Please, grant me the ritual of the cursed god. She crushed the vial, and her eyes went wild. A force erupted, designed for one thing, the suppression of wind and snow. Red energy exploded, shattering the ice domain instantly. The red light swallowed everything, melting the ice away. Cilicia was pushed back. She struggled to maintain her footing against the overwhelming pressure. Dark priestesses, sewer rats, you dare appear in front of me? The maid stood amidst the chaos, twirling her blade. Rats? Indeed. To your highness, we are merely rats. But your highness, you will die soon at the hands of the rats. She lunged, her dagger aiming for the kill. Maniacal laughter filled the room as the blade descended. Metal clashed against flesh. Blood sprayed into the air. Interesting. I didn't expect that besides magic, your swordsmanship would be good also. You really protected all the vital points. Cilicia stood there bleeding, her dress in tatters. She looked like a mess, but she was still standing. But you can't use ice magic. Now you are just a lamb to be slaughtered. Another heavy blow. She tried to block, but the force was too much. She was sent crashing into the debris. Her legs were trembling, blood dripping onto the snow-white floor. She was gasping for air, completely spent. Whew! Now I feel comfortable. It was about time. What follows, princess? The killer's eyes widened with bloodlust. Is your head. I'm taking it. Squelch. Blood sprayed across the room. I froze. The metallic smell filled my nose instantly. Don't tell me. Is this what I think it is? I moved before I could think. My body just reacted. Dust swirled around us as the impact settled. I stood firmly in front of Cilicia, shielding her broken form. My hands were shaking, but I wouldn't let her pass. Moon Campbell? Suddenly, dark purple flames erupted from thin air. A book appeared, flipping its pages violently. What is this? Where did this come from? A strange interface flashed before my eyes. The progress against Moon Campbell. 50%, 99%. It was glitching out completely.